Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to the 3Q FY23 earnings conference call of VST Tylers Tractors Limited, hosted by Batlivala and Karani Securities India Private Limited. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star and 0 on a touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Annamalai Jairaj from Batlivala and Karani Securities India Private Limited. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thanks, Rutuja. Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of B&K Securities, welcome to 3Q FY23 post-session conference call of VST Tylers Tractors Limited. I also take this opportunity to welcome the senior management team of VST Tylers Tractors Limited. We have with us today Mr. V.T. Ravindra, Managing Director, Mr. Chief Executive Officer, and Mr. Pankaj Khemka, Chief Financial Officer. I will now invite VST Tylers Tractors Management for the opening remarks to be followed by question and answer session. Over to you, sir.
Yeah. Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Pankaj Khemka. To start with my opening remarks, for the quarter ended Q3 22, the income from operations stands at 213.69 crores against 208.44 crore for the previous year same quarter. The EBITDA as a percentage stands at 14.56% against 16.62% previous year same quarter. PAT for the quarter is 19.43 crore against 21.05 crore previous year same quarter. Now talking about the volumes for different businesses, Power Dealer registered a volume of 7456 numbers for the quarter. Tractor volumes were 1537 numbers, and the turnover for different businesses are as follows. For the small farm mechanization business, the turnover for the quarter is 121.58 crore. For the tractor business, we have done 61.42 crore, and for the spares division, we have done 22.8 crore. So those were my opening remarks. We are open for subsequent questions.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on the touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. The first question is from the line of Anshul Mittal from Care Portfolio Managers. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hello. Yes, sir. So actually, I wanted to. My first question was mainly regarding the higher horsepower tractors. So, what is the current?
I interrupt you, Anshul, but your voice is not that clear.
Sure. Hello. Am I audible now?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask my question regarding the higher horsepower tractor. So what is the current contribution from higher horsepower tractor in terms of volume, and what is the average realization which we are looking at? And also, sir, going forward, what is the target which we have for this higher horsepower next year and in next couple of years going forward?
Yeah, this is Anthony Chiragara, the CEO. Higher horsepower currently is at about 10 to 15% of our volume. However, as I stated before, we have not yet launched the VST Zetor range of products, which we expect to do towards the end of this quarter, with which we are expecting our higher horsepower contribution for next financial year should be at around 20% of our total volumes. And going forward, the higher horsepower would be at least 30 to 40% of our business.
Okay, sir. And what will be the current realizations of higher horsepower, average realization? And sir, in considering we have small exports, so how much are we exporting in higher horsepower? What are current exports?
Our current export in higher horsepower is zero. We are not exporting anything in higher horsepower. However, with the launch of four-wheel drive, we will be exporting in the coming years in higher horsepower as well. As far as average value realization for higher horsepower is concerned, it will be roughly about 5 lakhs per unit.
Okay, sir. Understood. Sir, as per my understanding, so once the utilization increases, so we are expected operating leverage is supposed to kick in. So, sir, what do you think our margins going forward can be once we reach a decent utilization level? And do we have any plans to increase our advertisement spends or marketing spends going forward?
See, as far as the margins are concerned, we will be in the range of 12 to 14%, which I have maintained, which is the likely range which we will look forward this financial year. However, considering the marketing spends going forward, there could be a slight downward revision on the range of margins in the coming 1 year.
Okay. And what is so I understand the sustainable margin is between 12 to 14. So once the operating leverage kicks in, can we increase it further going forward once the marketing spend also reduces?
Absolutely. We will be able to do that. But the key is we are entering certain key northern markets wherein we were never present. So for the next 1 to 2 years, we will be having higher marketing spend.
Okay, sir. So okay, sir, no problem. So also wanted to understand, so what is our current R&D cost which we are doing, and what is the plan for future?
See, current R&D capex investment is roughly to the tune of 40 to 50 crores. In the next couple of years, you will see that rising to almost 100 crores per year.
Okay, sir. Understood. And so what is our royalty agreement with Zetor? So how much fixed royalty are we planning, or what is the tenure of with?
I'm not able to understand your question. It's the voice is blurred. I mean, it's not clear.
Am I audible now, sir?
Yeah, better.
So what is our current royalty agreement with Zetor, and for what is the tenure of our partnership with Zetor as well?
There is no royalty agreement with Zetor, and it will be going forward a profit sharing model. That is what we are planning with Zetor. There is no timeline. And there is no timeline.
Okay, sir. So, okay, understood. And sir, one more question from my end. So currently, can you give me a breakup of distribution network geography-wise for the company?
The distribution network currently stands tractor at about 350 dealerships, mostly spread in the south, east and the west. North, we have only about 30 odd dealerships for tractors, which we will be expanding this quarter onwards with the coming launch of VST Zetor. In the small farm mechanization space, we have 650 dealers. Again, spread mostly in the west, south and the east. In the north, we would have very less number of dealers for small farm mechanization to the tune of about 30-40 numbers.
Okay, sir. Understood. Okay, sir. Thank you. That's it from my end.
Thank you. Participants who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1. The next question is from the line of Saket Kapoor from Kapoor and Company. Please go ahead.
Yeah, namaskar, sir. Sir, if we compare our volume numbers for farm mechanization tractors on a Q-on-Q basis, how good is the comparison, or whether the seasonality factor kicks in when we look at the quarter 2 volume versus the day quarter 3 volume? So if you could give us some color on what the current business environment is shaping up for our product profile, that would be very helpful.
Yeah, so compared to the previous year quarter in Q3 of, just a second.
No, sir, I asked for comparison from Q on Q, mane quarter 2 versus quarter 3 firstly.
Quarter 2 versus quarter 3.
Yeah.
Just give me a minute, just pull up the numbers.
Yes, sir.
See, you have the numbers? Quarter 2?
Sir, I have the numbers. We did tillers. Yeah, tillers was 8819.
Yeah, 8819 and 8626 the previous year.
Yeah.
Quarter 3 numbers are 7456 for tillers.
Yes, sir. Yes.
71319 the previous year.
Correct. So I just wanted to understand the dip firstly, and then if you could give first a broader color, sir, on how things are shaping up. So then I will come up with my further.
Yeah. So the October, November, December Q3 volumes of tillers were not as per the seasonal demand that we expected, because there was no expected cash flow that was happening in key states like Orissa, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, and Orissa. However, towards the end of December and January, we saw that the season really picking up. So if you see our January numbers, the season has picked up very well. That is continuing into February and hopefully into March as well.
So, sir, if I just
factors is concerned, the volume in Q2 was 1688, against which we have done 1537. Again, in the last 3 months, November, December, January, we have started posting growth over the previous year. We are expecting that to continue, but that predominantly is coming from the new launches that we were waiting to happen. So the compact tractor launches have happened. So you will see tractor business growing on a quarter-to-quarter basis from now on.
Sir, you were commenting on the Vitor launch, sir. We articulated a November 4 launch.
If you remember, I had spoken about compact tractor launches also. So we have launched the key 2 products that we were expecting to launch. One is the 929, which is the 28 horsepower, which we were not present in that segment. So we have launched that in Maharashtra to begin with. And then the 171, which we have launched the 17 HP mainly in Gujarat. So these products are giving us the growth. And further growth is going to come from the launch of 936, which will be a 36 horsepower. There will also be launches from the VST Vitor stable in the coming Q4 end.
So November 4 launch was expected for Vitor at Chandigarh Agri Fair. So what is the update on that? Did we launch it in the month in that month?
The VST Vitor product is not. We have unveiled the product. The launch has not yet happened. So we have unveiled the product. We have shown it, taken feedback from the market. So some minor changes are going on, which we will launch in quarter 4.
So what kind of volumes do we expect for January, February, March out of this new launch?
With the VST Vitor, there will be hardly any volumes in Q4 because we are likely to do it only in the March end. But we are looking forward to 1,000 plus numbers in next financial year from VST Vitor.
And if I heard you correctly, sir, you guided for 12 to 13% margin. Is it the EBITDA margin, sir? Earlier we were in the vicinity of 14.5, not what of 14.5 to 16%. So are
I have given guidance on EBITDA margins of 12 to 14%, which we continue to do for this financial year. And next financial year, we will be slightly down considering the planned marketing spends we are going to do.
So what is the absolute number on the marketing expense we zeroed in for the next year, and what we have done for this year?
I will come back to you on that once the numbers are clearer to us. but there will be a downward of 1 to 2%, roughly, at this point in time.
Sir, we were looking to close this year with a top line of 1,000 crore. So, with the type of deferment, if I may, of sales for this quarter, and you speaking that it is picking up for the month of Jan and also the fillers from February. So, are we looking to close this year closer to 1,000 crore top line?
Yes.
Okay, but not reaching there.
We hope to reach there.
We hope to reach the 1,000 crore top line this year. And the margin profile would be similar to what Q3 and 9-month average have been?
It will be better. That is why I said I am continuing with the guidance of 12 to 14%.
Okay. So what was our margin for the third quarter, sir? The EBITDA margin?
Year to date was 10.58.
Okay. So we are looking an upward revision from 10.58 to in the vicinity of 12.5%. This is what.
Yes. Two reasons for that. One is the volume pickup. Second is the commodity price normalization that is happening now, or the reduction of commodity prices that is happening now, which will accrue in Q4.
Okay. So we have also got from some price revision of our finished product also, since the commodity price has cooled, or what are the price changes we have taken, sir, for this quarter?
We have taken price revision in December. In December we have taken. In Copper we have taken 4,000, and in RCB we have taken 9,000.
Downward revision in both the.
Yeah. So in December we have taken in tractor, and the tiller pricing is more dependent on the government pricing. The good news is that we have got price revisions in few of the state governments like Odisha, Tamil Nadu, and Karnataka.
Okay. Sir, how it is a good news when we are revising prices lower? I didn't get the point.
No, price upwards, I said. From the subsidy pricing, normally the power tiller pricing is dependent on subsidy price revision. So we have got upward price revision in Karnataka, Odisha, Tamil Nadu. That is what I said.
Okay. And what percentage of our sales towards these three markets, sir? Three geographies?
These markets count to about 40 to 50% of our sales.
That's correct, sir. And sir, if you could give us some more color on how the receivables currently are, and then I come to the compact sector and the other questions.
Yeah, so the receivable currently is at about 128 crores, which is at 52 days.
And this is the average, sir, or have we bettered the number?
It will definitely be better by the end of the year, because a lot of subsidy payments are coming from the government, which is being realized in the month of January and February, and expect to have a better receivable situation by March.
Right. And CFO sir, what is the reason for this increase in other expenses Q on Q? Earlier we were guided that the other expense line item would normalize to 6 to 7% of the total cost. But if we see the jump on Q on Q basis, it has gone up from 16 crore to 24 crore level. So could you explain the reason for the same?
Yeah, so 3 things that we have done. One is that I have been talking about increased brand spends that will happen going forward. So we have decided to do brand spends. One thing that we did was we were the title sponsors for Bangalore Bulls, which is the Kabaddi League, which is quite popular. The Kabaddi sport is quite popular in the rural areas. So that is something that we have done. We have also started marketing spends in tractors and sales acceleration projects in tractors.
Can you quantify the number on a like-to-like basis? What should be the increase in the other expense line item?
Yeah, the details are definitely out there in our reporting, but for your consideration, it is about 2.5 crores on the title sponsorship of the Kabaddi League. There is also a spend on marketing and sales acceleration, which is about 1.2 crores. And there is also product exhibitions across the country that we have participated, where we unveiled our VST Zitor range of products, which is also to the tune of close to 1 crore.
Okay.
And of course, the traveling expenses have gone up compared to the COVID times.
Okay. So these three line items, do we expect the continuity of 4-5 crore now on a regular basis going ahead also? Or?
The marketing spends, like I said, we expect to continue the marketing spends going forward, especially in the northern markets where we are not present, with which we want to accelerate our network growth as well as our volume growth in those markets. Not necessarily maybe the same items that we will spend on.
Sir, come again, sir. I missed your last point. Sorry.
Now, what I said is not necessarily the same item we will spend on, but the spend will be on similar amounts.
So, as a percentage of sales, this number will be similar line item.
In similar line, yes.
Okay, sir. So you mentioned about the northern market we penetrating, and I think so earlier call also you did mention about our presence. So what is our game plan, if I may use the word, in penetrating in the northern markets, and what kind of revenue could we looking for going ahead, sir, from this geography?
Yeah, so what we are doing in the northern market is we are taking a cluster-wise approach. We are starting with the markets of MP, Rajasthan, and here we are creating cluster of dealerships where we want to establish the dealership performance and the performance of our products. We have got initial successes both in Rajasthan and MP. We want to take it forward, and this should take us about 5 to 6 months, almost half a year, after which we will scale up the number of dealerships. And along with it, we will be doing a lot of marketing activities in all the other areas.
Okay, so taking into account the steps we are in the annual, what should be the mix then, the total revenue pie? How much would be currently from north, I think so, and what are we envisaging for say 1 year down the line?
See, 1 year down the line, I don't see significant impact, but in the next 3 to 5 year terms, the northern market should give us 30% of our revenue.
Okay, that's a very considerable number, sir. The mix will change.
Yeah.
Okay. And lastly, sir, about...
If you remember, I spoke to another gentleman. So I told him the higher horsepower will eventually be about 20 to 30% of our total pie.
Correct, sir. And sir, if we look at this, the precision unit at Mysuru, sir, how is that contributing? And sir, for the spares business, what is the outlook, sir? That has also seen a slight dip. There is no growth as such Q on Q. On a comparative number of 23.43 crore for Q2, we did closer to less than 23 crore for the December quarter. So what should be the growth number we are looking for the spare segment and the precision unit at Mysuru contribution?
Yeah, so the two aspects you asked me, one is regarding the parts business and Mysuru. These are mutually exclusive, so I will talk separately about it. One is the parts business, which is actually a distribution business for us. We are, as I have said before, we are setting up the distribution channel in 2 states this year for electric pumps. We have set it up in UP and Bihar only this year. We are doing about 30 to 40 lakhs of revenue every month in these markets, where we are fresh entrants with no brand name, and the first time we are entering these markets. Now there is a consistent revenue that is coming from these 2 markets through the electric pump business. Now we are we are scaling up to 4 more states. In the coming Q1, we will scale it to 4 more states, establish the distribution there as well. So in the next 3 years, what we expect this electric pump business to get to about 100 crores. That will give us the growth in the electric pump space in the distribution business. The parts and the oil, which is largely dependent on internal consumption, has grown slightly this year. We expect that to grow with more dealerships getting added in the northern belt. So that also should register a reasonable growth of at least 10% going forward. That is on the parts and distribution business. Coming to the Mysuru establishment, we have seen flat revenue growth in terms of Mysore. We have been trying to establish the implements business. The water business that we started have been streamlined. It is a cash and carry business now. It used to be earlier a credit driven business. Now it is a cash and carry, and we have been able to maintain the revenue. Now going forward, we are introducing new products in that range. Secondly, we are looking at collaborations with multiple companies to expand the business in farming machines and farm implements. This will also come in the mechanization, that is the precision implements division that we are talking. Once it is finalized, I will let you know.
So if we take the revenue number, sir. Yes, ma'am. I'll come. Just this answer if I can give. If the revenue part we look for the Mysore unit, what have been the contribution for the 9 months, sir?
For the 9 months, the revenue from Mysore is pretty low. It is about external business is only about 5 to 6 crores.
And we spent around more than 100 crore on this unit, sir.
That is why I said external business, because a large amount of business parts that we manufacture, we supply internally to the production of our VST tillers and tractors.
Okay. So can you give the deemed number, sir? Total.
Yeah, so that number would be on quarterly basis. I can tell you for Q3 FY23, the total revenue is almost 21 crores.
21 crore contribution. Yeah. Sir, I'll join the queue, sir. I have
20 to 23 crores every quarter is taken from Mysore.
Okay, sir. Can I put one more question and can join the queue, sir, with your permission?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Sir, when we look at this other income line item, sir, I think it is about the investment in mutual funds, and because of this the MTM is generated, sir. What is the reason for this other income line item?
Yeah, other income line item is basically from the investments in mutual funds and equity.
Okay, sir. So taking into account good practices also, and if that could be adhered to, sir, this can be routed to the other comprehensive income or the OCI route also. So that would give us a fair picture of.
You are right. We will take it from the next quarter. You will find that being reported after as other comprehensive income. We have already discussed, and we will be doing that.
That would be very helpful, and that will give a clear picture of the operation numbers.
Absolutely.
Yes, and Khemka, sir, resignation, sir. All the best of luck for his future endeavors. Any specific reason for and are we looking for any other suitor for the same? Do we have somebody to succeed him from the organization?
It's only purely for personal reasons. There are no other reasons.
Okay, and we have the succession planning for the CFO?
Yes.
Okay, sir. I'll join the queue, and thank you for the elaborate answer. I will just sum up also. If I request the moderator when give me the last penultimate chance for 2-3 more questions. I will wait for my turn. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Arjun Khanna from Kotak Mahindra Asset Management. Please go ahead.
Sir, thank you for taking my question. My first question is, just wanted to understand if I heard correctly, we are saying Zetor incremental sales would be 20% of the overall mix. Is that a right understanding from next year, FY24?
Higher horsepower eventually will be 20 to 30% of the overall mix, but it will not happen in the next year. It will happen over the next 1 to 3 years.
Sure. And in terms of price points, so could you give us a sense what kind of price points that would be? So if I see for this quarter, our current average realization is roughly 4 lakh rupees per unit. So what would be the price point of these higher HP tractors?
Higher horsepower will be almost 6 lakhs. Current higher horsepower that we sell is about 5 to 5.5. With the Zetor launch, which is coming into the premium segment, it is 6 lakh plus.
Sure. And sir, if we look at the tiller segment, we have seen growth this year, and most likely will probably be north of what we have seen in the past 3 to 4 years. Do you see next 2 years sustainable in terms of these tiller sales, or do you possibly see a slowdown from here on?
You're asking about industry?
Yes, our sales, sir, our power tiller sales, because if I look at it,
I
9
don't
months.
see any slowdown happening in our power tiller sales. The last 3 years we have grown, and like I have said, we will be somewhere in the tune of 15 to 20% on growth even this year for the power tiller business. Currently, we are clocking at about 14% roughly at the end of January. So we should be able to, cross that 15 to 20% growth guidance that I had said in terms of power tiller. I was expecting the tractor business to be at the lower single-digit growth, but it looks like we will be flat in terms of the tractor business, primarily because of the launch delay that we had in terms of the new products for our tractors.
Sure. And sir, in terms of our outlook for the next year, FY24, would it be possible to grow tillers from these levels also?
Yes, we are getting into the annual report we had shared very clearly. We are looking at 3 phases in which we are going to walk into. One was the cleaning phase, gearing phase, and now next year we are getting into the exponential growth phase. So many of the projects that we had undertaken, one is the VST Zitor project, secondly the investment that we did and the supplies that we are starting with Monarch, which is the electric tractor company in the US, and several other projects that we had put up is all scaling up, and in the next 2 years you will see the revenue growing faster than currently.
Sure. So, if I understand correctly, while we have given a guidance here of an EBITDA margin cut in FY24, on an absolute EBITDA basis, we are yet looking at a healthy growth. Is that a right understanding?
The top line, we are looking at a definitely healthy growth. In percentage terms, as you rightly said, there could be a cut, but overall there will be a growth, in terms of the pure value.
In terms of earnings for the company?
Absolutely.
Sure. Thank you so much. Just one last question. In terms of power weeders, you usually give us some numbers in terms of the mechanization. Have those numbers shown growth?
Yeah, so definitely it has grown. This year, currently, the brush cutter weeder segment, we are at about 3,732. Last year, if you remember, we had closed it around 2,000 numbers. So this year, we should be above 4,000 numbers in the brush cutter weeder segment.
Sure. Thank you and all the best, sir.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Devanshu Sampath from Yes Securities. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hello, sir. Good afternoon. I have a few questions. So just one, if you can update on the share of financing in sales. What is the number that we're working with right now?
Share of financing for power tiller is currently at about 1 to 2%.
But your voice is breaking. We are unable to hear you.
Can you hear me?
It is still breaking, sir.
Can you hear me now? Is it better now?
Actually, it is sounding more muffled to us.
Really?
Hello?
The person you are speaking with.
Hello?
Hello.
Please let us give you a moment until we check the line for management. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for patiently holding a line. The management line is reconnected. Thank you and over to you, sir.
Yeah, I am audible now, I suppose. So, could you repeat that last question you were asking?
So what I was asking is the share of financing in our overall volume sales right now.
Yeah, so 1 to 2% is the power tiller financing, but now we have got into multiple arrangements. One is with Yes Bank, and we are also talking to a couple of NBFCs.
wherein we are tying up with them to increase the retail finance in power tillers.
Sorry, what did you say the number was?
Right now it is about 2%.
Okay, so this number, if I'm not mistaken, was about 5. You had mentioned a few quarters ago.
Yeah, slightly during COVID it had gone up, then it has come down now. Now it is slowly rising again with the tie-ups that we are doing.
Okay, but are we doing this only for tillers right now, or are we doing this across other farm implements also?
Mainly for tillers, because the tractor finance is already available.
Okay, got it. And sir, second question I had was about the dealers. Now, if I'm not mistaken, at the end of a year ago, we were at the tractor dealers around 340, and you said right now it's 350 only. So this number has not been moving up, and especially that we're looking at launching higher horsepowers in the northern market. So what are the issues? What's the feedback we're getting? Why is the number not scaling up as per intended?
Yeah, so the intention was to launch the tractor in Q3 of this year, which has got slightly delayed. Hence, we didn't scale up the number of dealership in the north. That is one. Secondly, I said we have refined our process. So we are developing clusters of performance. Like I said, we are doing that in Rajasthan and MP to begin with. And so that cluster approach creates a cluster of dealerships which is doing well, and then move on to create other clusters of, because we understand that we are the 10th or 11th player who is getting into the higher horsepower segment. So we are doing it pocket by pocket. So that is why we have kind of stabilized the number of dealership in tractors at about 350. Once we have established the higher horsepower in this 350 dealerships, then we will take up and scaling up for more dealers. However, the same approach is not there in power tiller segment. Power tiller segment, we are at about 650 plus dealers, and we will continue to grow.
Yeah, I think that number has gone up by 100 from a year ago, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, correct.
So all of the mental numbers we're looking at will mainly be from MP Rajasthan right now, or are we looking at?
Mostly in the higher horsepower will be coming from MP Rajasthan. Also our strong belts of Maharashtra, Gujarat, South, where we are strong already.
Sure. And just wanted some updates on some of your other initiatives that you have mentioned in the last few years. So one is on bringing manufacturing into India with the company from France. So any talks on that? Because last I remember you said it was because of COVID we couldn't travel. So any developments there?
Yes, we are looking at multiple companies to manufacture in India. Not only the France venture. So talks are going on. Nothing is finalized yet. So we should be able to close something in the coming financial year.
So this is for any particular product, or can you give a sense of which?
The small farm mechanization product. And also VST Zitor, I have already spoken to you earlier. Yeah. We are already selling compact tractors. We have started in January. We have started, sending our tractors to sell through the Zitor network in Europe.
Okay. So what number are we looking at for export volumes?
Export volumes, like I said, we should be earlier last quarter when the call happened, I had said we could be slightly down compared to previous year considering the situation in Europe. But most likely we are going to end up flat. We will not be down. But last year we had done about 1350 numbers. We should be around the same number this year. So we won't be down in exports.
And you also mentioned now, and this was the plan also, that the Monarch business should start contributing from early 2023. So assuming for FY24, can you give a sense of what number you're working with?
Yeah, we are looking at upwards of 1,000 units to Monarch.
That would translate as revenue of roughly?
Roughly about 40 to 50 crores.
40-50 CR coming in from Monarch in FY24, you're saying?
Correct.
Okay. So this number could are we looking at maybe from a 2-3 year perspective going up to say 150-200 types?
There should be considerable upside.
Okay, sure. And so what's the cash on books right now? Cash and investments value?
Investments right now. Just a second, the CFO will answer that question. Investment around roughly 450 crores.
450 crores. Okay. And any update on the land sale update that we've been in talks for a while, and we were looking at gauging the market and everything now. So now, what is the board thinking? Why is there a delay in this development?
No, right now there is no update on the land. Definitely, once the things are finalized, we will let you know.
So, but is there a change in intention of doing anything, or is that still on the table for us?
Definitely on the table.
Okay, sure. Thank you, and wishing you all the best. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Shreyansh Gathani from SG Securities. Please go ahead.
Hello.
Hello, yes. Good afternoon.
Yep. Hi, good afternoon. So I had a couple of questions. So the first one is around the new product launches, which we showcased in 929 and likes. So what is the response that we are seeing on that? And also, I wanted to know on the higher horsepower category, we have our own brand, and then we have VST Zetor, which is like VST and VST Zetor both. So how do they compete in terms of features, or do they have any cannibalization in that sense in terms of product?
Yeah, so I'll answer the first part of the question, which is 929. It is getting tremendous response in the market that we have launched in Maharashtra. The volume is being ramped up. That is why I made the statement that we are expecting good growth in the tractor volumes going forward. Coming to the higher horsepower, we have clearly two positioning. The VST range of products will be value for money positioning, and the VST Zetor products will be premium positioning. So the VST Zetor products will compete with John Deere, Ford New Holland kind of premium products in the market, and the VST products will compete with the value for money positioning in the market.
Got it. And so just following up on that, on the UP strategy, on the northern strategy, there's like very established and strong brands. So is there how do we compete with them on pricing, and how do we intend to gain market share? Would it be on pricing or brand, or what is the strategy to compete with the larger guys who are have a stronger presence in those markets?
Understood. But this is kind of a larger question and will take a little more time to explain it to you, but I will, in the short time that I have, I will try and explain our strategy on this. You are absolutely right that we are the 11th or 12th player in the higher horsepower space. So it is very clear for us that, in the market, that what we can achieve in terms of product or differentiation is limited. Of course, giving a good quality product in the tractor industry is today hygiene. So that definitely we will be up there, and we will be definitely having all the features premium product that we have. And of course, the value for money positioning product is also placed accordingly. Now, having said that, the key differentiation is in terms of the capability of dealerships and the coverage that you establish in the market. So this is where we have created a cluster strategy, where we will focus on specific clusters, wherein we will place the product in the market, do kind of one-to-one marketing that is happening today, establish our product for few lead customers in the market, make others follow those customers, and that is what exactly is happening in the northern markets. And once you establish in a cluster, which we are doing sales acceleration work, once we establish in one cluster, then we move on to the next cluster. So we have laid down procedure by how we will establish in each cluster, and we have been able to make success out of this in these clusters. So, I mean, there is much more to it, as I said, but in short, this is the answer.
Got it. Got it. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Participants who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1. The next question is from the line of Dhruv Kalada, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi, sir. So my first question is on our strategic investment and supply agreement with Monarch, which looks interesting given the backing and multi-year licensing agreement Monarch has with a global leader like CNH and the scale at which they'll be manufacturing. So can you please give us a sense of how you see this relationship developing?
Yeah. So let me tell you the relationship with Monarch. At one level is as an investor, and at the other level is as a supplier. So the agreement they have with CNH is for a totally different category of higher horsepower products and for their autonomous software and controls that they have developed. So that is a separate agreement. Now what we are supplying is for the Monarch range of tractors, for which we are supplying the transaxle, the front axle, the wheels, rims, etc., which we call as the glider. That is what we supply to Monarch from here in India. So this is for a totally different class of product. So there is no relationship between what is happening between Monarch and CNH and what is happening between Monarch and VST.
Sure, got it, sir. But over the long term, how do you see this relationship developing with Monarch?
Yeah, so I said we are an investor in that company. We expect the relationship to be in the long term. The plans are not laid out in terms of what are the next steps that need to be taken. Right now, the focus is on ramping up production. As I said, 1,000 units plus is what we are looking at in FY24. So the focus is on that.
Sure, sir. Coming to my second question, you recently said that the small farm sector in India is expected to adopt a lot of electric machines in the near future. With Monarch recently entering India and looking for manufacturing partners, are you open to contract manufacturing opportunity with Monarch or any other OEM that may come knocking on the door?
No, Monarch has not started manufacturing operations in India with anybody else. We continue to be a supplier to Monarch for their product that they have launched, which is the Monarch Mark V Founder Series that they have launched. We are the suppliers. There is no other investment they have done in terms of manufacturing. However, they have opened their software center somewhere in Hyderabad.
Yeah, so just to clarify on my question, actually what I meant was that they are, like I was seeing one of the recent interviews in which they mentioned they are looking at India to scale up in India in a big way. So, and they don't
Absolutely. That is why I said there is nothing finalized at the moment. So I cannot give you anything which is not yet completely finalized. So there are discussions happening. Once anything is final, I will let you know.
Sure. And lastly, on the capacity utilization at Hosur plant, which has remained low for many years. So what is our strategy and progress in increasing our capacity utilization there?
Yeah, so the last 2 years, the work has been happening with Monarch, with VST Zitor, and increasing our range of products. Fundamental reason for all these is to build our utilization of the Hosur plant. So we expect FY24 utilization to be much better than the previous years. And in the next 3 years, we should be upwards of 80% plus utilization of the Hosur plant, which is has a total manufacturing capacity of close to 40,000 tractors. So between Zitor, between Monarch, between VST consumption, between what manufacturing we will do for Zitor for their products, all these put together, we will definitely be looking at increasing utilization to the levels that I said.
Okay, sir. Yeah, just one final question. CNH has also talked about its big plans in India, and they're specifically looking at the 40 to 50 HP tractor segment which we have also recently entered. So do you see any potential synergies and partnerships with them as co-investors in Monarch?
Right now, there is no discussion with CNH, but we will be open to anything that we may come across.
Thank you, sir. That's my side.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Saket Kapoor from Kapoor and Company. Please go ahead.
Yeah, sir. Thank you for that follow-up. Sir, firstly, sir, regarding a comment by earlier by our CEO, Mr. Anthony, regarding the investor presentation to be made a part. I think so during the AGM, it was requested and sir did. So where are we in terms of the presentation being provided to us with these numbers being cumulated in a PPT presentation and the key highlights of the quarter, so that making the con call more interesting.
Yeah, within the next 3-4 days, we will upload the presentation on our website. Number one. Number two is, sometime in the future, unfortunately, my incumbent CFO has decided to leave us. The successor will soon take over. So very soon, probably the next call, we will try and have a discussion over a presentation.
No, so you mentioned presentation will be uploaded for this result also?
This result we will upload in the next few days, couple of days.
And please provide them to the exchanges also, as being the mandatory.
Yes, we will provide. The transcript will be provided.
Okay, sir. I think it is getting confused. I am talking about the presentation. Transcript of this con call will be provided. Specifically, you will be providing us with any.
You want the presentation also to be given to the exchanges. I will check with my company secretary, and if there is no other issue, I will definitely upload it in the exchange.
Okay. Now coming to your vision part, sir. I think so. Last call also you mentioned that because of the COVID factor, because of this war scenario and geopolitical changes, we are still looking for FY26 exit at 3,000 crore. So taking into account the current the investments we have done over the period of time, and you being articulating that there will be substantial increase in the revenue pie also going ahead. So are we sticking to our target of 3,000 crore by FY26?
Yes, by FY26 we are, like I said in the last call, we wanted to do it by 2025, but we might kind of cover up for the COVID time loss that we had, and we might move it to FY26. But definitely we are chasing that target down.
So correct, sir. And sir, for the Monarch part, what have been our investment in the JV, and is it in the form of equity, or if you could give some more color?
Investment is in the term in equity only.
How much have we invested, sir?
Roughly about 22 crores.
Okay, and this figure gets some in our 450 crore investment.
Yes.
Okay. And sir, then about these last 2 points about, firstly, I think so with Farm Tech and the MTD US, we were also looking for this power weeder and brush cutter part. So how are things moving ahead in these two aspects, sir?
Yes, we are working with them. Currently, we are taking supplies with Farmec Taiwan. That is progressing very well. Like I said, we are in talks with multiple players in terms of productionizing in India. Nothing is final yet. As soon as it is final, we will announce it.
Okay. And also, sir, about the M&M product Swaraj, I think so last quarter you did discuss about the interesting point of this being a product for the power tiller. So how is the traction there, and is it standing as a competitor to us in the power tiller segment?
No, we don't see it as a competition to power tiller, because our power tiller demand continues to grow, every month. I don't see it as competition. However, having said that, I see emergence of a new segment happening. So the the prices at which that particular product was launched has gone up now. The company has revised the prices upwards. So I see a new segment emerging between tractors and tillers. So that will be an interesting space that we are also keen to enter.
Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Kapoor.
Just concluding, if you could allow me just to conclude, and then it's all. Then we'll get another opportunity next quarter only. So just a small point, with the permission.
Sure.
Please.
Yeah, thank you, sir. So in conclusion, we are looking for a 14 to 15% volume growth for power tiller to end this year, with a single-digit growth in the tractor segment, and looking at a top line closer to or at 1,000 crore for FY23. So this understanding is correct as of now?
Yes.
Okay. But the gap in the profitability, sir, if we remove the other income line item, then also there is a substantial gap in the 9 months, yearly and the 9 months as on date. So
as I said, EBITDA is at about 10.58 now, year to date.
Yes,
so
sir.
What we are looking at is getting into the range of 12 to 14, which I have always said where EBITDA will be.
Okay. So this fourth quarter would be substantially higher, then the average will go up to 12.5.
I told this earlier also, there are two reasons for this. One is the commodity reductions that is happening is not accrued to the P&L as of now, as of year-to-date December, which we expect it to happen in Q4. There is also an upward, the business is good in Q4 so far, so it is looking up, and we should be able to maintain that 12 to 14% range that we have always spoken about.
Okay. So there is a gross margin expansion that is we will be expecting because of the
definitely that is only way that's possible, right?
Yes. Thank you for all the elaborate answers, sir, and all the best to Pankaj ji for endeavor. And sir, I think so. Then this change in inventory will get depleted. I think so. There is an increase in inventory for 9 months to the tune of 27 crore. With the improved revenue, this will get even out for the fourth quarter.
Yeah, inventory we will be slightly upward compared to the previous financial year closing. The reason is simple, that in June, July we lose sale because we are not able to do demand. We don't want that to happen going into the new financial year. So there are some corrections we are doing in that respect.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you once again, sir, for all the elaborate answer, and all the best to the team. Hope to get in touch with you next time.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, this was the last question for today. I would now like to hand the conference over to the management for closing comments.
Yeah, so thank you everyone, and we look forward to a good Q4 as I have mentioned. So far the going is good. The January was good. We expect February to be good. Look forward to meeting you all in the month of May. Thank you.
Thank you. On behalf of Batliwala and Karani Securities, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us, and you may now disconnect your lines.